everybody's having a good night. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon Playroom. It is time for another night of wonder. Okay, hopefully everybody's having a good night. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. We're about to start our 5th edition D&D game set in Wonderland. We have some new faces, new face at the table with us tonight. Before we get started into this very musical episode of Wonder, we have a few announcements to do. On Tuesdays here on Indigo Chameleon, it is always a night of wonder. That's our night where we do our tabletop game. On Thursday, we have some fun, exciting stuff. I think we have a home brew and brew on Thursday, where my good buddy Magnoth and I are going to design some clown bad guys, so that my little group of pachyderms can fight them. My little group of elephants. So tune in for that, because on Friday I have a one-shot where all Loxodon's characters are going to go off on an amazing little adventure. And I have a couple of the Loxodons here, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So please tune in to that Friday at 8 o'clock. It's a super awesome D&D one-shot. And then Saturday, I don't think there's a lot going on. And then Sunday night...
Playroom.
Sunday night playroom.
Group playroom.
We're going to have some board games. We'll have maybe some super fights or some cards against humanity and things of that sort. Please stay tuned. We've got some fundraisers coming up for charity. Our newest charity that we're helping support is Give Kids the World. We're going to be announcing this week. We did some pricing on getting sort of Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons packs for kids. I've got them priced down to about $20 per kid, and they come with their own set of dice and character sheets and a miniature version of the player's handbook and all sorts of fun stuff. So we'll have more information about that fundraiser as time goes on. But I think that's it, unless I missed anything. Is that it?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. So, all of that being said, we're going to try something a little different tonight, kids. We've been talking for a while about doing some fun, unique things and taking this game and sort of turning it on its head. We changed the shopping episode because I hate shopping episodes, and I had a blast doing that with all of you. So tonight, we're going to do something a little more musical. All right? Whenever you're ready. Our heroes set forth as they brave the trail. They will not fight unless they're provoked. There's Grim, he's tough and strong as can be, but be careful for his trick knee. Day is beautiful, charming and sweet, and with Grim there may be some treats. There's Nyx, whose past as dark as can be, but he is wonderful. We're just waiting for him to be a little silly. Mandrake has the hat of legend. There's not a lot of things that rhyme with legend. There's also Thoe, a furblog, a druid. She is awesome and fluid in languages. So let's start tonight. We travel the forest, seeking some gnomes that live far away. We now come to the adventures at nightfall. Let's hear what they have to say. We're in the forest, the Forgotten Forest. You have traveled this forest many times before. This is actually the forest where you all met, and you're not too far away from that spot where Grim ran into Thoe, and then ran into a group of other 3 adventurers, and there was an altercation in the woods. You're headed to a small gnomish village that's on the outskirts of the kingdom itself. You're headed there because your good friend Mandrake has a want or a need to go back and visit some of these gnomes that are a part of his past. Mandrake, you tell me, how forthcoming would you be with these people about who the gnomes are to you?
I think at this point pretty forthcoming that they're the family I have.
Mandrake doesn't talk a lot about his family. So going off of that, the way he speaks of them, this is the closest thing he has to a family. So I'm almost positive this is the first time anybody in the group has been forthcoming about like, okay, this is my past. Like, though they be but little, they are fierce. Okay.
Motto.
The gnomish village you're going to is the gnomish village of Tanoth, which is the cabbage capital of wonder. There's not a lot of traveling that goes on in Tanoth. Like, not many people seek it out on the roads traveling. So traveling has been light. It's kind of late in the evening. You're all gathered around the campfire. You're probably having food. You're probably having a little bit of drink that you might have brought with you. I need everyone to go ahead and give me a perception check, please. And let me know if you roll above a 15.
Nice.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
29 now.
Okay, above 15. No, next.
About 14.
14. You're so close. So everybody, so the four of you but Nick, who's sort of got his nose stuck in a book, are sitting around a campfire, and a very friendly human man walks forward. What does this human man look like?
So he's got like he's got pants on. They're kind of striped, like white striped. They're cut off on the bottom. You can tell it's been through some stuff. He's wearing like nice sandals. He has like a regular old shirt on, and just kind of like a hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very plain looking.
Yeah.
What does he say when he comes up?
Hello, friends.
Is this one of your friends? Do you know each other?
I don't know anyone around here.
I know none of you.
That would be a riot. Unbelievable.
I know none of you.
Would she see like some of the instruments and things?
Sure. I would say your perception is high enough, and you are loaded for bear when it comes to instruments and items on your person. You have a few. This human that's walking forward in the attire, he's actually doesn't have a lot, and it almost looks like he doesn't have a ton of belongings. Period. He does have a guitar. For those of you that are paying attention and have an eye, I'll say if you have a proficiency in Arcana, give me an Arcana check.
29 now.
15.
Okay. You two notice that this man sort of walking forward, as these two are sort of studying the person himself, your two eyes are drawn to this guitar that he's carrying. And this thing has more arcane symbols on it than any sort of magical item that you've ever seen. Different theologies, different sort of religions, like weird symbols on this guitar. Some of them don't even look like they belong here. Like there's a weird symbol of like hands going like this, and you've never seen anything like that before in your life. Like it's just weird. There's it almost looks like there's a yellow smiley face painted like somewhere on it as well. Like just full of arcane sort of symbols. But he looks at peace walking around with an instrument that looks this laden with arcane symbols.
Oh, you saw.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Hi. I noticed you have an instrument there.
Oh yes, this is my guitar. I play it.
Okay. That makes sense.
My name is Gil.
Hi, Gil. I'm Zoe.
Giltar.
Giltar.
Guitar.
He plays guitar.
Well, yeah.
It's a little on the nose, don't you
my name
think?
isn't who plays guitar. It's just Giltar.
Just guitar.
Giltar.
Do we call you Giltar or just Gil or just
Whatever
Tar?
you want. It's fine.
Ah,
me.
Gil.
Oh, sure.
Come by the fire. Come make
Thank
yourself
you.
a piece.
I haven't. I would love to join you at the fire. I don't have anywhere else to go at the moment.
Well, you're
Sit
welcome
for,
to
Oh.
our fire.
for a while. Oh, sure. He
Come
kinda
sit.
Like, he just sits like he gets to a log and kind of like, oh, and he like slowly sits.
Gil, give me an insight check.
Very insightful. That's a yeah. I haven't played D&D in a while. That's a 20.
Oh, yeah.
Gil, a very familiar voice kind of floats into your ears. And it's like, hey Gil,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
this is where you're supposed to be.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm gonna stay here for a little while.
Sure. Yes, by
Thanks.
all means.
Who were you just talking to?
What do you mean?
You just had a conversation with someone?
No.
May I just it went along the lines of
Oh, that's just my memories.
So
Just normal.
But who are we to pass much judgment? I mean, you got a hat that moves on its own.
You're all very strange looking. I don't know why you're judging me of all people.
We
Really?
haven't-
Finally, they think someone else is the strange looking one. This is amazing.
You
Hi,
should.
I like you immediately.
I feel like you shouldn't pass judgment that quick.
we haven't had much
judgment,
luck
yeah,
with
just
strangers.
curiosity.
Huh?
We haven't had much luck with strangers lately.
Then you
Well,
should change
that's-
your outlook.
Well, I understand that. I've had much luck with people. Like most people are like, shoot. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh well, no shooing here. We put up with a lot with each other, so join us for the campfire, of course. Where are you coming from?
Oh,
Did you just basically say we're all kind of jerks, so you might as well join us?
I picked that up too, but I was trying to ignore it. I didn't wanna-
T-shirt slogan.
Join us.
I could pick up the vibes before I walked up, so it's fine. I came from afar.
Is it the place called From Afar?
Afar?
Is it? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
How far?
Why don't you sing about it?
Okay. Play the guitar and explain. I was traveling really far away from where I came from. I just traveled on a road and then it brought me straight to you. I don't remember what happened before, I just know I'm here now. I try not to think about what was behind, only what's right before. That answers your question, I'm sure it doesn't. I keep my business as my own. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
You don't know what it is. As the music sort of leaves the guitar and Gil, you're sort of wrapped up in it. It's the sort of same feeling that you get when Day plays for you and you feel that little jolt of, I can do anything, and it's the potential to do anything. But this magic goes a little deeper than that. This magic is sort of where Day encourages you that you can do anything you want to, and she gives you that little extra oomph to go forward. This has a relaxing, calming effect on you. Rather than pushing you to go further than you ever thought you could go, this allows you to physically or mentally shirk off some of the things that you've been holding on to. So I want you to think about that when he plays. Okay? So the night goes on. You guys drink and have food, and I'm sure that Gil sort of plays for you all around the fire and things of that sort. As we go to sleep that night, we are you've got one more day of traveling after tonight, after you camp for the night. You've got one more day before you'll get close to Tanoth.
Where are you headed?
To North.
Oh, I was gonna split ways, but I'm headed that way. Can I join?
Please.
Do you know anything about Tanaf?
The cabbages.
Cabbages.
So you know what everyone else knows about Tanoff.
Correct. Well, I mean, no, I'm a musician and all. I don't really have a lot of food. Cabbages cheap.
I gotta play this through. Give me a history check as you start racking your brain to impress these people about your history of the small town of Tanakh.
Nat 20.
Oh, nice.
That one.
You were born in Tanakh? Which is odd because it's gnomes, but for some reason
I've seen a movie about this.
you were born in Tanakh.
You see, I was born in Tanakh. Now, when one says born, it doesn't necessarily mean physical birth. It's just Tanakh was one of the very places I went after I discovered myself, and I went there and meditated for a while. I was born. I was just born into my own. Before I was a very uptight type man, very about the system, and then I could just kind of had an awakening moment, and so now I'm just I'm born. I was born
Fascinating.
there. Yeah,
With a
it's
rebirth,
beautiful
you
town.
must be a druid.
Huh?
You're a druid. You have rebirth, of course, right?
No, I'm a human.
How do I know that?
Wow, stereotypes much? Not all druids have rebirth. Jeez.
So we have a sense of humor.
Oh my gosh.
He's closer to what I am than her, so.
Oh, and I'm closest.
Are you one of those
to
born?
the-
Are you one of those born again types?
Oh no, I am born again every night.
Every day.
And
It's some weird marriage type stuff. I don't.
We
Anyway,
mostly
farewell,
just
friends.
ignore it with those two.
We should keep walking. We should keep walking.
You're actually camping for the night.
We're camping for the night right now.
I imagine Gil getting up. We should keep walking. We're staying here. We're staying here.
it looks like I don't have a choice.
You all rest for the evening. There's a campfire going. Who is keeping watch? I need one person to keep watch for the first half, and the other person to keep watch for the second half.
I wanted to cast Identify on the guitar, actually.
You can certainly ask before you rest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you mind if I see what's going on with that guitar? I'm just.
That'd be great. I don't know what's going on with this guitar.
Cast
I just know it's great.
Uh,
I'm so sure.
Alright. I'll cast Identify on it.
Yeah.
When you cast Identify on something, the parameters of the spell allow you to see what schools of magic are inherent in a given item of
You
a
learn
sort.
its properties and how to use them as well.
Yeah.
And if it requires attunement, how many charges, all that fun stuff.
There's nothing magical about this guitar.
Great.
This thing's covered in arcane symbols. This kid is radiating magical energy, and you're so attuned that you can feel it. Give me a straight up Arcana check after you cast Identify on this.
That's on the side. I'm gonna reroll that. Okay, Arcana 17.
Like the most tropey of tropes, you realize the magic is not coming from the guitar.
It's what some people call big magic energy.
Must be magically
I would, if
Stand
he'll
in the
allow you,
voice.
I would let you cast Identify on him.
No, I'm too upset right now.
Too upset. Okay.
Really ticked.
Well, you took away one of the reveals for the end of the episode. So
Yeah.
you can talk upset.
It was friendship all along.
Anyone else want to do anything before you rest for the evening? Who? Yes.
I want to take first watch.
Okay.
And I want to pull Gil aside for a second.
Sure.
Hi, friend.
When were you last in Tenor?
Like a couple years ago.
And the gnomes,
You know me.
were they okay?
They seemed fine. Low spirits, but it's just normal for the gnomes. Very down on themselves. Not because they're short, just life is hard. When all you go is cabbages all day.
Hey, how close are you to Gil?
I don't know, like
You pretty close?
yeah, pretty close.
Gil, could you start playing a little something for me? Could you start talking to Gil about to not. And you start talking to Gil about the gnomes. Something relaxes. And you are back there. You're back living there. You're back learning alchemy. If you'd like to sing a little bit about your time there, I will have you remember a potion recipe that's been lost to your memory. You can even do it a cappella if you want, but Gil's music is sort of influencing you.
Yeah.
You want to do it a cappella?
Yeah.
So, Gil, you feel your magic energy sort of leave, and there is a moment where his energy sort of commingles with yours. It's an aura thing, and you're gone. You're back in Tanaf, and you hear them. You hear them more than you see them. The gnomes sort of busying about you, and you being the tallest member of the town, the children are immediately surrounding you. And you hearken back to a time in your life where things were a lot simpler.
When you try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel so tired but you can't sleep. Caught in reverse. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. And I will try to fix you.
You care a lot about this place.
It's home.
And you know what we need to do?
Go there?
Correct.
We're already doing that.
Correct. Making sure we're on the same page.
Thank you, Gil.
Got on that level. Good. As you remember, the lights will guide you home.
Mm-hmm.
You remember a very special potion that you
Okay.
remember. That's called heroism.
Ooh.
Okay.
We'll talk more about it later. You can look up the heroism potion.
Gotta be careful with
Heroism.
heroism. It's very addictive.
Thank you, Gil. Give me a perception check as you do your watch for the evening.
16.
All right. Your watch goes somewhat uneventfully. You stay up. You're lost in thought, but for some reason, your time spent with Gil gives you time to think and reflect on this time. And some of the sharper edges, your fears and worries, are somewhat quelled. Like some of your fears are somewhat pushed aside. Who's taking the second watch? You're taking the second watch? Okay. You guys switch places.
Magna. Oh, that's you. Just kidding. Magic. There's someone there somewhere.
You see a random passerby named Magna. You run over and punch him in the face. And
And next Dimitri comes out with a
Dimitri then sneaks over, steals all of his stuff, and runs away. Dimitri's like, "You'll not see anything. I give you a discount." And he runs away.
Ready Friday. Let's go.
So your watch begins. Gil, surprisingly, is still up, so you can interact with him, or you can sort of look out at your area. Gil does not sleep.
Oh, I'm probably kicking it with Gil and being like, so, and you're from again. Let's talk.
Yes. I don't talk much about my business and where I've come from.
Well, the man is more than his business. So what else do you do?
I travel.
And where's the best place you've traveled? The most absolute beautiful place you've
What's
been.
like a place here? Can I like roll like a D4 and you decide 4 places?
Yes, I'll give you. Actually, yes. Give me a D20.
D20. Got him. Nat 20.
Oh my god.
These dice are great.
I gotta give you something real good for
That's the
that.
way I keep.
You, before you came, because you're somewhat new to what you were born into, not but you wanted to see the world. But you don't know why. You've always had need to travel. So for a while there, you served on a ship with a bunch of odd people on the crew. One of which, the one that you bonded to the most, was a turtle by the name of Marquis.
I went on a really cool ship once, and there was a turtle.
The turtle.
The turtle.
And by chance, do you know his name? Do you
Harkey, Malarkey, Markey.
Marquis.
Marquis.
Wow, he's
So, question.
quite
I was
something.
very, very confused by the whole time I was with him. Is it Marquis or is his name like Mark? And like that's a nickname, Marquis, like Marquis.
Oh, I just called him friend.
Oh,
Although
Alright.
he did have a thing with cats.
That's fun. Yeah, he didn't have a cat on board.
Not for long.
Were there
Yeah.
cats prior to the ship leaving, and then there was no cats on board after?
Actually, yes. I thought the cats maybe just ran away.
Oh, no, it was the devil's thing. We kept having to tell Marquis put the cat down.
Oh, that's sad. I don't like when people use their authority to, kill others.
Yeah, it was either that or a baby. We were so grateful the cats.
Well, I don't know, baby. Fine, the cat. Yeah, it died.
But kind of just that much in Marky where he's not here, Just
Yeah, poor Marquis
He's not
is
here to
can't even
defend
defend himself.
But all in all, what a swell guy.
Yeah. What about you? Where are you from? What do you do?
I am from all over.
I understand that.
Yeah. And I've came across these 5 people I've been traveling with, and it has been an absolute wonderful journey.
It's great.
Quite the journey indeed.
Yeah. What do you think of some of the bigwigs around here running the show?
Could you be more specific, Big Wig?
Like, what are some of the characters in this game?
Ask him what he thinks of the Red Keep.
What do you like? For example, the Red Keep.
Give me a wisdom save.
And that is going to be a 7.
This is weird. You go, what do you think of some of the establishment? What do you think of the Red Keep? And you don't really think about it, but once again, being in his presence and hearing some of the songs and the music that he's playing as he just sort of idly strums the guitar, you haven't really given it much thought. I mean, you've had a few run-in. No. God, maybe you did have a run-in. It was when you were really little. You had a run-in with somebody, and you totally forgot about it. I'll leave it right there if you want, but if you'd like to sing a little bit about it, I can establish maybe what happened to you to separate you from your pack.
Yes. I feel like I'm trying to recall back my backstory for this character.
Your backstory is pretty open when it comes to him,
Right.
but you remember being part of a larger pack,
Yeah.
and because it felt like home when you went to the bar for the first time and you sort of got to interact with all these people, then you don't know what happened. But you know that you've imprinted on him.
True.
You know that you've imprinted on her.
Yeah.
And there's a need, in a lot of ways, there's a need for pack in you. So why haven't you, where did the other one go? Alright?
Okay. Specifically have to be about them, or it can also be about...
It can be about them,
Okay.
or it can be about
Sure.
the rest of the group, it can be about all of them.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. Nope, you're fine. You're fine. Come on
Donuts.
in. Would you mind playing a little something for
Now,
me?
Gil.
Yeah, sure.
There's this energy, this need that's... Ah, there it is. Back when I had a pack, they were all different kind of folk I used to love and roam with. But things got rather strange then I came across a girl. She didn't take my advice when I said leave the balance. That was her fault. Then we came across a couple of others, real tender, nice folk. And let me tell you about one. Her name was Dee. She was so lovely. I'd give her my nut, and she'd give me everything. She said, "Be mine." So I said yes, day, any day. And that's honestly what just made me feel more a part of this group, something larger, something greater, and luckily for me, I have people I can trust and count on.
It is really hard to imprint on someone. Okay, it is really hard to focus on someone and make them a part of your pack. And you realize that it was not just your caring for him, but something else, something primitive in the back of your mind. It wasn't Mandrake, it was the armor. It was that red, smoking armor of the guy talking to Mandrake. You were protective of him, yes, but there was something else. The armor, that smell, that faint smell of brimstone, you remember that. You were smaller, but it was the last time that you were with your pack.
Yeah.
That smell. The sound of crying, that sword slashing through, blood, the scent of blood, you raged. It's the first time that other side of you came out. The beast came out, and you were nothing but claws and teeth. And when you woke up, you were gone. But that armor, that smell, you weren't just worried about him, you were protecting him. Because he was a cub, just like you were a cub when you encountered that armor.
Just to clarify, if you define the relationship without talking to Dave first, okay? Thank you.
You hear a whisper in your ear, Grim, as Day sleep talks, and said, "You probably should have talked to me before defining the relationship."
My Facebook status says complicated.
You all rest for the evening. It's another day of travel. As you all awaken, Gil, you are refreshed. It is almost as if you've had a long rest as well. Gil gets his rest in other ways.
Moonbeams.
Moonbeams. You wake up. It is the next morning as you begin your travel down the road to Tanoth. As you ease on down the road, it is about noon, it is about midday, when you come across a cart. The cart is off on the side, and there are three men sort of leaning up against the cart. As the three of them sort of lean up against the cart, one of them looks down the road and sees you all coming, turns and looks back and says something to the other two. Then takes a few steps forward. Says, "I'm sorry about that. Do any of you know how to mend a wagon wheel? We're having a bit of trouble, as you can see."
Are they look just like regular people?
Give me a perception check as you start to get closer and closer as the group. Everyone can make a perception check right now as you get closer and closer.
5.
5. Yeah, they look normal enough folks and stuff like that. 8.
23, but I want to focus on the cart.
9.
You're not paying attention to that. They look like just nice enough folks. 13. You notice that they're a little strapped for nice enough folks. Nix. Whether you want to communicate that to the group conspicuously. You're paying attention to the cart, and what did you get?
23.
You notice that the cart is off to the side. This would take more of an investigation check as you sort of get closer to the cart. I will say that it doesn't. The cart looks aged for the wheel to just have broken off. How about that? A little bit of undergrowth, a little bit of looks like there's some plants that may have started growing around the wheels.
Okay.
So something doesn't add up here.
Does he look suspicious, Mandrake? Like he looks. This is weird.
Mm-hmm.
She'll cast message. What you thinking?
I can't cast message back.
No,
No.
you can't.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
when I
She
send
sent
it
you a
to
text and you
Okay.
get to respond.
Okay. That cart has been here for a while.
Oh, your wheel, your wagon. You needed help mending it?
Yeah. We just we've been traveling and the wheel.
Where are you traveling to?
Or from?
We were headed to the Red Keep.
Oh.
We got a wagon full of radishes.
Why go there? Why?
Well, I mean, we sell radishes. We got a bunch of radishes.
Radishes.
There's no radishes don't grow in these parts.
You have radishes. I don't mean to be crazy and out there, but we've been traveling for a while. And we're all very hungry.
We love radishes.
May I maybe take some of your radishes and we can fix your wheel for you.
Yeah. How about this? And he reaches behind him and pulls out a crossbow.
Of course.
Oh, every time.
and points it at you and says, "How about this? You give us all your gold and we'll just let you go."
How many are there?
There's 3 of them.
Back me up, guys.
Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Great.
I'm not.
Shoot.
I
Five.
certainly tried.
5.
Too late to try.
6.
Really?
Late.
Depending on
Late.
how.
No, I
depending
roll
on-
low.
You roll low? Okay.
Oh god, please let me be first.
20 to 25. Woof-a-doof. 20 to 15.
Pretty good.
Okay.
0 to 5.
17.
19.
19. Day, you're up first. Eric, you'll be right next. 15 to 10.
13.
13. Okay. 10 to 5.
5.
6.
5.
Oh, you two roll off for the 5 spot.
We're gonna go tandem. It's gonna be great.
Not 20.
Wow.
Oh, now you're rolling.
18. Yeah, he got it. God, I was like, I've definitely got this with an 18.
Okay. We are going to start off right now with Day. Day, it is your turn. First, it's one man with a crossbow, and then the other 2 that you
Right.
can see
So-
off to the side.
The one of the crossbows, right? Like has a crossbow in front of me?
Yes.
Cool. Crown of Madness.
Perfect. That is a wisdom save, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He rolled a 17. Does that make it?
Yeah.
It's a 19 on the die.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it.
He's got a -2 to wisdom. So sorry. Okay. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action?
Who's next?
Me.
Yeah, she'll go ahead and bardic inspiration it up.
Bardic inspiration.
On the
Okay.
next one.
All right. What does she sing?
I think she actually in this one, because it would be very interesting, speaks in poem.
She speaks in poem. What is the poem that she grants to Mandrake?
Be not afraid and kick some ass. Throw them down into the grass. Make sure you keep us all very safe. For home we will be. And we will place something about rhyming here.
Yes, and
Wow.
you are inspired. Gil just goes nuts. Like Gil's off to the side. He's like, art is art.
Take your shirt off.
Gil has a lighter. You don't even know what a lighter is, but he's got it up. Like, he's just
Really popular back home.
super into it.
You take an extra D6, I believe, for inspiration.
Okay.
All right, so you can add a D6 to an attack roll or a saving throw, something like that. Or
You can also roll. Are you doing it where you can roll the d20, then you can roll the other one after if it's low?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
That way
absolutely.
we don't have to waste it.
Yeah.
How close are these 3 men to each other?
The 2 are about 10 feet back from the guy that's walking forward towards Day with the crossbow drawn.
Okay.
You could cast something right in the middle of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they within 5 feet of each other? All 3 of them? If I were to land like right in the middle?
No.
No. Okay. Then I am going to. I'm gonna toss my hat. I'm gonna cast Booming Blade on the hat.
Can you give me one of those like fun little action-y beats that you were doing at right?
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. I will give you advantage on all these attacks if you sing what you're doing.
Okay. Fly true, fly straight. Then I'm gonna throw my hat.
I'll take it. Let's watch this. Mandrake. No, that's good. And Mandrake, you throw the hat, and as it does, take advantage on this attack. Who are you attacking? The guy with the crossbow?
Guy with the crossbow.
Okay, take your attack right now.
15.
Okay, this is going to be a 15 against AC. That hits. Roll damage, add your sneak attack bonus to that.
And with Bardic Inspiration as well?
You are not going out for damage. She does not have that tolerance.
Okay. 9.
Did you roll your D8 with that? Or your D6 for the hat? So you should be rolling 3D6.
Sorry. I'll roll one more.
Roll one more.
14.
14. Guy with the crossbow goes down.
Oh my gosh.
They are dumb bandits in the middle of the road. As you take down that first bandit that goes down, Chris, it is now your turn.
So I'm going to just advance to the next closest one to me and I'll use my glaive.
Okay, use your glaive. Make an attack.
Yeah! Oh god. That's a 6.
You throw the glaive, and as you do, or you bring the glaive down to the side, and as you do, something about the ground gives out from underneath you, and you slide into the dirt a little bit, and the glaive just like glances down. He almost like looks up at you and like, really, bro? Like as your glaive comes down, but you're seeing this look of fear sort of cross their eyes. One of the bandits whistles. It takes his action to whistle, and then takes the dodge action. As he whistles, 4 more come pouring out of the forest, 2 on either side. So right now you have 2 that are standing, and 4 total. Like 2 that are standing up, 2 on the right and 2 on the left. Nyx, it is now your turn.
I was all set up too. I'm just gonna cast. God. I was gonna do something, and then you added more people.
I know.
Very upset.
I would like to say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna cast Frostbite on whichever one.
You're running up to him then. You're engaging him.
60 feet.
It's 60 feet?
Yeah,
Alright, give me an attack roll.
It's a con save actually.
Give me I would
Roll it in.
What is the con save DC?
14.
It is a 2. He takes full damage on this.
That is 5.
Any other special effects that come with this? No? Okay.
And it has disadvantage on next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Perfect. One of the soldiers coming out, you watch as Nyx sort of shoots his arcane energy. He reads a spell off, whispering an incantation. As he does, ice seems to shoot from his fingers, and it hits the guy's chest. And as it does, you see that feeling of like frostbite as this black sort of cold energy hits his chest center mass and sort of rises up, and you see his breath catch as a little bit of frost comes out of his mouth, and it sort of goes off to the side. One of the guys looks badly hurt. It's the guy. Next up is Tim.
Yeah. How close were they to me?
Tim, you would have to get. There are 2 that are somewhat close to you. The 2 that came running out of the woods and are somewhat getting close to you, off to your side. I would say they're about within 10 feet of you, within 5 feet of you.
Okay, I am going to cast Gust of Wind in like their direction.
And just sort of blow them backwards?
Yeah, so they have.
This is a strength save, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Each of them fail the strength save.
Okay, so they
Are pushed back 20.
15 feet away
15.
from me in the direction following the line. So wherever like I'm pointed towards them, that's where they're gonna go.
I will say both of them lose their footing as you watch. What does he sing to do the gust of wind in their direction?
Gust of wind's gonna win. You're going away now.
You watch as Gil sort of
But
channels.
it's like screaming.
Channels. It's this It's the most metal thing you've ever seen in your life. As this gust of wind emanates from the guitar and sort of moves with the vibrations of the strings. As they do, the two that were sort of running forward to join the fight are blown backward and knocked prone. There are two people that you will have advantage on any attacks you make against them. They automatically fail, or I think they have some trouble with dex saves. I'll look over here. Zoe, you are up.
Well, now that you have advantage, that changes what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Then I guess I'm gonna do infestation instead. Because I was gonna do. Because wait, how many of them do they have advantage on? 2?
2.
Okay, so there's another 2 over there.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire
Okay.
on the other 2 so that everybody else gets advantage on any attacks.
What's
against
the
them.
spell save DC?
The spell save DC is Dex save of 13.
They both fail. So the other 2 that are off on the other side, all of a sudden you watch as Zoe sort of reaches into the ground and grabs some sort of the dirt and the leaves that are around her. She looks more at home now than she ever did in the city. And as she does, she goes, the dirt begins to sparkle and alight. And as it does, it sort of surrounds the 2 that were running forward on the sides. It attaches, and as each little dirt particle and like leaf and sand particle attaches to the body, it sparks and ignites and starts illuminating different colors, and they just start like trying to freak out, like hitting at their chest, but they are lit up like Christmas trees. Okay, all attacks against those 2 are also going to be at advantage. Okay. However, the 2 that are on the ground, it is now their turn. They get up. One will take a shot at you, Gil, for pushing him. That is 15 against your AC. Yeah. You take 4 points of damage, Gil, as an arrow sort of flies forward and like sinks itself into your shoulder. It doesn't stop you from playing because the show must go on.
Gil's how many points?
4 points of damage. Is that how much HP you have?
No. I had more than that.
The other one takes a shot against
5.
Zoe. That is 10 points against 10 to hit your AC.
Ow! Yeah. Oh, wait. 10 to hit my AC.
10 to hit your AC. Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
think so. The other 2 off on the side, even though they're lit up, are going to take shots. One's going to take a shot at you. Nat 20.
Oof.
I can take it.
You take 7 points of damage as this crossbow bolt like flies off and like sinks itself into your shoulder. I think one will. 2. One will take a shot at you. No, you didn't. You didn't hit. They'll take a shot at you. You threw the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 16 against AC.
It hits.
You take 4 points of damage as this crossbow bolt also sinks in to your side. The one that blew the whistle starts taking off running down the road. That's what he's going to do with his move. You can use a reaction here to take an opportunity attack against him if you would like, as he starts taking off and running down the road. Because you are in melee. Yes, go ahead.
I'm going to throw my hat again.
All right, throw it.
Those rhyme. Madigan and Hadigan.
Yes, it does. Good job.
You're welcome.
I will throw my hat again. And my name is Madigan.
All right, take advantage on the attack. Take advantage on the attack.
Oh yeah, no, it was better the other time. 13?
13 just misses as this 13 sort of comes forward, and he's running. He's also like blocking a little bit, with the wagon a little bit, so his AC is gone up. He takes off running. Day, it is now your turn again. There was one person that's sort of standing there, one's running off down the road. You've got 2 on either side.
So she's going to go ahead and use her stone for the first time.
Okay.
And she's going to use magic missile.
Okay.
So, I think it's instantaneous. I know that.
It is. You just have to roll damage. Are you splitting up the darts, or are they all going after one target?
I'm gonna go 1 after the one who's close.
Okay.
And then 2 after the one who's running.
Good. Okay.
So
roll damage on all 3 of those darts. Roll a d.
That's 5. That's 5. And that's 3.
I'm not going to let you use magic missile anymore. You watch as the one running gets really far away, and it's that scene in Elf where Buddy gets the snowball and like throws it deep, and like this missile just goes flying in the back. This guy falls and hits the ground. One of the other that's off on the side, that other guy hasn't even gotten to pull off a move yet, but just takes 2 missiles to the chest and also falls unconscious.
Yeah, I'm not
to
very
the ground.
happy that they hurt my friends.
No, I understand that. Okay, it is now your turn.
I was actually going to bring up that on my hat return roll,
Yeah.
I rolled an 18, so I get a second attack.
I will give you 2 attacks here this
Okay.
round then.
I'm going to... Who's standing together?
You've got 2 on the side and 2 that are glowing. All of your attacks will be at advantage with the 2 that are
Okay,
glowing.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna close the distance between myself and the 2 on the side,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Sword Burst
Okay.
to hit those 2, and then I'm going to throw my hat at the other 2, or at one of the other 2.
One of the other 2.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the dex? Is it a dex on sword burst?
Sword Burst is... Sorry. Yeah, Dex 13.
13. One of them fails, one of them succeeds. So
Okay.
how much damage do they take?
1.
1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, the 2 off to the side take 1 point of damage. Throw your hat for me. Chris, you are up next.
Am I still like on the ground with that person over still?
Oh, no. Those 2 guys are
Cool.
gone.
So
Hang on.
15 with...
Yes, roll damage.
Okay. 2 plus Dex is... 8.
8. Yeah, one of them falls to the
Okay.
ground. You've got 2 standing and 1 that's up by you.
that's all glowy or whatever?
Yes.
Yep, I'm going for him.
Okay, give me attacks at advantage.
Advantage. Yeah. Thank God for advantage. Oh God. Okay.
You had advantage on these.
I know. One was a 3, the other was a 1.
Once again, something's off. Something just feels weird. Grim, as you reach out with the glaive, you're like, this time I got it. The different foot this time trips in the sand. You're like, is this invisible rocks? And like you fall to the ground again as you just can't seem to find purchase. You're like, Dave looks at you. She's like, it happens to lots of guys. You're really stressed. You're really tired. It's okay. Like, it's
I
fine.
knew this day would come.
Nix, you are
But it
up.
didn't come.
It
Okay,
did.
so who's left? Who's left?
There are 2 still standing.
Alright. Was one of them the one I...
One of them is glowing. One of them is the one you hit.
Alright. Don't seem to work so well the first time. I'm gonna use Frostbite on the other one.
Okay. Dex save.
Con 14.
On a 14. He makes it.
Alright.
Oof.
Half damage
That's the
or that?
worst.
Looks like you made it.
There's 1 dice in here that I should not be allowed to roll my NPCs with.
Alright, so nothing.
Okay. So you see him cast that same sort of arcane energy, and the ice sort of hits him center mass. But as it does, he sort of, and as he does, he sort of forces the cold to leave him, and he just stares sort of daggers at you. Tim, it is now your turn. There's one glowy, and there's one that's not glowy.
Oh, okay. Was anyone hit with damage though?
Yeah, the one that isn't glowy.
No,
right?
like of my friends.
Any of your friends that were
Any of
hit
your
with
friends
damage?
got hit demolished?
A couple of them did. A couple of them took hits to the shoulder with crossbows.
Okay.
And
I'm sure you all are capable of them, so
so you
give a
heal.
healing word to.
Sure. Which one do you pick? The guy with the hat, the green furred one.
I feel like the green furred one doesn't get enough love.
Did you take
I
damage?
I did
doing
not
fur-
take damage.
You didn't hit.
Thank
Okay,
you, though.
then the one with the hat.
Okay.
Oh, this is the take.
Ooh, you took more damage.
I only took 7 points of damage.
I only took 4.
I'm gonna take.
Okay. So the really hairy guy that was talking to you last night.
Alright.
May all my rolls be 20.
I will say that because of that, you take full healing. You don't even have to roll the dice. What is the dice roll for this? As
Plus, it's
one.
one d4 plus 2, so the max you can get is 6.
So you heal for 6 points of healing as the music sort of flows forth from jeez into you. Tracy.
Yes. Okay, so I am going to go at the glowy one, and I am going to cast. I don't really have a lot of love. I'm going to cast Infestation. It's a cantrip.
Okay.
So it's going to get a d6 of damage if it fails its con save, but it
I will
also is going to run in a random direction.
I will give it disadvantage on this con save if you sing this attack.
Okay. You need music. Any music. I don't know. Some sort of music. We'll go with it. I want to give hugs! But instead, I'm gonna attack you with leaf bugs! Run away! I say, just stay!
One was a 19, the other one was a 2. They failed that save.
Yes.
Let's work this Morissette vibe.
I'm kind of going to need everyone to leave the room.
We're gonna take 5.
That's 2 points of damage, and it is running in. It was only on one creature though.
That's okay.
Okay, and it's running in the northward direction, which I don't know how that helps us or not. But
Perfect.
Yeah.
An infestation of bugs, I'm assuming cockroaches, sort of flow forward?
Yeah, no, there were ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Because it rhymed with
Infestation of ladybugs sort of flies out, and he's like, my greatest fear! He's swarmed by the ladybugs, and it's just enough damage that he dies. I always knew it didn't like this. Like, he's sort of knocked unconscious. The last remaining robber sort of hits his knees and puts his hands up and says, I'm sorry, and that's his move. Day.
She's gonna walk up and put a knife to his throat, the dagger.
I'm so sorry.
Kill anyone?
I didn't know you guys were so powerful. I would never try to rob you.
Can you please stop? This is quite embarrassing on your part.
You're right, I'm so sorry.
Just stop apologizing. It's nothing to be
I'm
ashamed
sorry,
of. We
you're
all
right,
take
I do
pride
say
in
that
it.
a lot. My last girlfriend broke up with me because I said
Right,
I'm sorry
and
so
this is the
much.
thing that you're doing right now, is you're being needy, and I just need answers.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. Just tell me what to say.
Okay, so what I need you to say is, where are you coming from and where are you going?
Where are you coming from? Where are you going?
Cotton Eye
Where are you
Joe?
coming from? Cotton Eye Joey?
We live not too far from here, just off on this side. We just rolled past the by and then we...
Mm-hmm. And you just happen to find a cart.
I mean, it's been here for a long time.
Cool. So the radishes were fake, which sucks.
Oh my
because
god, I'm so sorry.
I know you are.
I know you look like you were really excited about radishes.
I was really excited about radishes. Yes, Mandrake.
You've been robbing people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to the car.
So here's what I need you to do. While my friend goes and checks out your other friends, I need you to hand me your gold, please.
Okay. Sure, it's like all I have.
Well, you were going to take all we had, so...
That's fair. That's fair. He reaches into his. He's got a pouch. It's got like it's a substantial haul. It looks like he's been doing this like all day, and he's got like 5 gold in there. But after you sort of take some time to look at all the other bodies, you find the leader that was talking to you before. He's actually got 10 platinum. And between all of the rest, you find in total about 50 gold pieces as you search some of the other bodies. Give me an investigation check for those of you that are going and looking at this cart. You're not?
No.
What is he doing at this time?
I just am kind of starting to keep walking.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
That's going to be an 18, sir.
I also got an 18.
18 or 19?
18.
You start looking at the cart, and sure enough, there's a box that just says radishes, but like the S is spelled backwards. Like the S is going the it almost looks like a little kid. Mm-hmm. And you open it up, and there's a sack inside, and it says definitely radishes. And as you open up the sack that says definitely radishes, you find a couple of potions in there. Mm-hmm. One of them is a red liquid. The other one is sort of this swirly liquid where it's like white and cloudy, and then it's completely clear and transparent. And then a couple seconds go by, and then it's white and cloudy again.
Okay.
And you also find a sort of a cache of miscellaneous items that you think Dimitri might be very interested in seeing. They seem right up his alley. More of that later.
Can I? I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
So I want to go down, and do we know what this guy's name is, by chance?
No one's asking that.
Now, what is your name?
Balatasu.
Yes, you're allowed to. See, this is what I'm talking about. Communication.
Communication really is the linchpin of any good relationship.
Yes, you're allowed to answer.
My name is
Karamaka.
Francine.
Francine. Now, I want to.
Are you making fun of my name?
No.
I know it's a very, like,
My fondest uncle's
scary
name is
thing.
Eleanor, so it's fine.
Alright.
It's scene. Now, you tried to hurt some very dear people.
I'm really sorry. I wouldn't have done it had I known you were powerful.
I'm gonna have my eyes change. You see my voice get really deep and like, you would never do that again.
Give me an intimidation check.
Ooh, actually, it's not bad. 11.
10, I will give you advantage on this because you are hulking out a little bit.
Okay, then that's going to be
18. He starts peeing himself a little bit as your eyes sort of change and your claws get really long and stuff like that. Give me a perception check, everybody, except for our good buddy.
That one.
That one?
15.
22.
Your buddy is pretty far away down the road. Like, he hasn't stopped to watch any of this.
Just the road goes on, goes on.
So he's gone at this.
Goes
Not
on.
gone, but he's still walking.
I have all his gold.
Yes.
Keep moving on. Keep
You stay here, or you walk the other way.
Okay.
There is no follow.
Alright.
There is no take.
I'm not allowed to rob people anymore.
You're not allowed to rob people anymore.
Okay.
Go home now.
Wear this bag.
And she'll actually like reach in and grab one of the gold pieces and hand it to him.
Thank you so much.
Go home now.
I mean, a 2 would really be great, though.
I'm gonna reach down and take the gold she just gave
Alright,
him and
that's
put it in my
fair,
pocket.
that's fair. And he just starts taking off. He starts taking off at the end of the
So we each get 10 gold pieces and 2 platinum.
Okay.
Could you believe he urinated himself?
As she pockets those 5 gold that he handed directly to her.
Yeah, there you go. That's my girl.
10 gold, 2 platinum. Okay.
10 gold, 2 platinum.
Is he already far away?
He's pretty far away.
Okay, never mind.
What?
I want to ask him what the potions are.
Sure. Tim, give me a beat.
Really?
My name's Francine, and I don't really know. I just know one of these potions makes it go. When you get hit in the side and you need to be a little better, you drink some of this. It tastes like mead, but it makes it go quick. And then sometimes it'll make you feel sick. The clear potion makes you go invisible and a little slow.
Okay.
You intuit from Francine the rapping robber that one of the potions is a greater healing potion,
Okay.
and the other one is a potion of etherealness.
Is it not weirded out by this, all the singing today? Is that just me?
That might just be you.
No one else?
Bod.
Okay, you singing is normal.
A man in love.
You know, never mind.
Man emanating magic.
As she starts taking off the guard.
You walk for a good while. You're sort of walking, and you'll notice that occasionally Gil will stop and sort of like look at a particular tree, and you'll come to a little fork in the road, and he'll look either way, and then he'll just sort of like wait, and then continue to walk as you sort of study his sort of behavior.
Is there something you're looking for?
No, just the next place.
I mean, I like trees too. I mean, it's kind of in my nature, but you seem to be looking at a lot of trees.
Well, they're here.
You are correct. They are here.
Ever wondered how the trees don't worry about the world and what's going on right now? All the craziness and the chaos.
I don't know.
and they're
I've
just
talked to
there.
plants, and sometimes they do worry. You'd be surprised.
Well, I don't want to know that. Thanks for ruining that for me.
How do you feel about walking downhill?
If
Well,
that's where the
now we're
road
at it.
keeps me, I'm not one to tell the road what it wants me to do. I just follow it.
I've been meaning to ask you actually, why are there so many songs about rainbows?
That's a great question. Why are there so many songs?
Just we're talking about nature songs. I need
I've
to know.
heard 2 songs about rainbows.
Oh, well then that's fine. That's too many.
I feel like
Something
there are more
against
songs
rainbows,
about
I know.
trees or love or peace or.
Yes, there are songs about things.
What do you have against rainbows?
Your hair is blue. A majority of my outfit is black and white. This cloak is already too much color for me, but
I can't turn this down. If you sing a song about why you hate rainbows,
Oh God.
Hang on a second.
I will have you access a part of you
oh no,
that has been missing for a little bit.
I know exactly what song is pulling up. I think I'm not sure.
So as you get lost in thought and you sort of get confrontational with Gil, and you sort of like come forward a little bit, and you're like, you know, like, no, 2 songs about rainbows is too many. You feel that sort of energy.
I just think there's too many colors in the wind, like emotions of people, friend or not friend. Life is much simpler, it's black and it's white, but when we're together, emotions make fights. I don't believe that colors make sense. The one that I do, red stays true. Black and white is my friend. Yes, black and white is my friend.
You're singing the song about rainbows after saying that there's way too many songs about rainbows in different colors. And the irony is lost on everyone, I think, except for Gil, who's like, nice. It's weird. You're having sort of that weird deja vu moment too. I don't think it's rainbows. I think it's one color in particular. I think it's violet. For some reason, violet, like, you've never been a huge fan of it, and rainbows often have that like sort of purple streak, and for some reason you don't know what it is. It's like it's at the back of your mind. You don't know if it's the color, or if you associate that color with something deeper, with something darker than that, but you remember hearing the word and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Almost when you eat something, it makes you sick, you don't want to have that anymore. The name violet, the color violet, that's why you don't like songs about rainbows.
You should be careful about not liking certain songs, because when you don't like certain songs and demand others not listen to those songs, and that's called censorship, and that's bad.
I've heard of a show called The Censor.
I haven't said one thing yet today that has been censored, so fair.
You make your way down the road for quite some time, finding no other sort of issues with bandits or anything like that. It does get fairly late at night. If someone wants to give me a survival check as you start to scope out for a fun place, I would say if you have proficiency in survival. Let's narrow this down. If you have, did you just roll like super high? Okay, what did you roll?
I got a 20.
You got a nat 20?
Nice.
So while the people there that are proficient in survival are like looking and they like think they found the perfect spot, Dave's like, why don't we use this? And as she goes, why don't we use this? Like you see a little like log cabin off to the side.
Fire.
And Thoe promptly like gets up off the ground where she's been like searching, and sure enough, you go over to this log cabin and sort of spend some time in comfortable abode for the evening. It doesn't take long to get a fire going. You don't have to have a watch tonight unless you absolutely want to. You have 4 walls, there's plenty of food and things like that. We can skip through this and travel on to the next day unless anyone has things that they want to do for the evening. Gil, is there anyone that you would like to talk to or spend some time with?
I want to talk to that one. He's been quiet.
Nix, you're off reading a book. As you're reading a book, you sort of have that feeling like somebody's like over your neck, and you just hear,
Can I help you?
Oh, hi, friend.
Hello?
What are you? What are you doing?
I'm just reading.
No, like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm just helping them. I don't really have much to do with the gnomes.
What is it that they're doing? What are you helping them do?
I'm just getting to the gnome village, but
What are they wanting?
Drake wants to check up on him.
Oh. What exactly, like, everybody has a purpose. What do you feel like your purpose is? Here, and with the group.
It's this little flame that lights a fire under your axe.
It's not something I really talk to strangers about.
Oh,
I understand. I don't talk about my business either. Most people wouldn't agree with my business, but it must be done.
And I go back to reading.
Go back to reading.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I stay there, and I keep just going.
Can you play a little bit for me? Hey, Nix. Okay. How bad do you want to unlock a spell right now?
Oh no!
You're gonna do it without that?
Yeah.
Alright, so the music sort of permeates the core of your being, and as it flows through you, you have several things that you're flashing back to. You're flashing back to your time over the hill. You're flashing back to time spent with Mother and learning and the family that you had to bid goodbye to such a long time ago.
It's hard to sing a joyful song when everyone you love is gone, forced to hide while on the run, with nowhere left to go, away from the life you grew up with, from everyone you know. Your father, your mother, and your sister, and another. When you're hiding, one that's dead, one you thought perished, who could be alive instead. Unless that's a lie to throw me off. So I make a mistake and get myself killed, and let down my family and doom overland forever. I'm on a mission to save my people, but it's been a lonely one. I'll take the kingdom back from Fridrin, but the life I want, it's gone.
I think the sighs behind you, as you start picking up on the emotion that he's laying down, like the sighs behind you go from you hear this wailing behind you. The other. We haven't talked about the other. We haven't talked about sort of the happier times spent back at the castle. But you do have fond memories of spending time with this other. And one of the things is you never had a knack for this, but he always did. And even though you were hanging out, like you remembered being in awe of this person, and like he tried to teach you, you just didn't have the athletic ability to ride horses. And like to ride horses around like and like you picked it up a little bit like after time and enough training, but like they would just come to him. Like they would just come up and like he'd be around them. So that's why this singing, this catharsis, unlocks the spell. In my top 5 favorite spells in the game of Dungeons and Dragons that I had never gotten to use. You unlock the spell Phantom Steed. Phantom Steed is a 3rd level spell and allows you to call forth a spectral animal that you can ride. It is a remarkable spell. But your time spent, that's how the magic manifests.
Ooh, that's a good
It's
spell.
That's a very good spell.
It's a very good spell.
I've never gotten to use that one either.
No, and then it's remarkable. So you guys sleep very well for the evening, and it's almost a joyous occasion as you wake up in the next morning. Gil once again has not slept, but has breakfast. Cooking for you, and there is this feeling of energy and excitement. Mandrake, you're a buzz because you know that you're getting close to this place that you've been away from for so long. And sure enough, after a very quick breakfast and a few hours of traveling to the day, you make your way to a small, tiny village that's off the beaten path a little bit. You see Gil getting just as excited. You don't know if you're picking up on the energy from Mandrake or if it's just good to be home, but you start hearing music coming from this small town. Nobody here is really like akin to hang out with gnomes. I think like even in the time you spent, there's something different about a gnomish village. It's warm and inviting, and as you come walking up, there is a little old man, little old gnomish man who is standing at the entrance to the town. You recognize him immediately as Bizzleby. Bizzleby is blind, but as he sort of walks forward,
Oh, Mandrake, is that you?
Yes.
I saw you coming.
and he sort of laughs at his own joke and sort of runs forward and hugs you around the knee. Oh, Gil! No, are you here?
Yes. Hi.
I saw you coming too.
Oh, yes. Always the jokes.
And he comes over and hugs you, and he's like, all right, they're here. And there is a raucous cheer that sort of erupts from the village, and almost even though it's the day, you can see the fireworks shoot off from this tiny village. And all of a sudden, a large table is brought out into the center of this town square, and you see people running out of homes, bringing plates of food and setting it up on the table. It's like the prodigal sons have returned. And you've never gotten this sort of reception before. As you start walking towards the village, two little like gnome girls like run up to you and they're like looking at you, and like one doesn't even ask, she just starts braiding your long green hair and putting like little like beads in it and stuff like. No, lower legs. They start like braiding and stuff like that and looking up, and one like lifts up and like has wants you to pick her up.
I pick her up.
Then pick up. Another sort of gnome comes over and he looks at you and he like pulls out a set of drums and he just starts like playing drums.
She'll just sit down and start like strumming the beat.
As that happens, like four more come running out of this house and they're like they've all got little instruments. Like one of them's got like a jug and they're like. And they're playing musical instruments with you. How do you react to all this? Is this your scene?
I mean, it seems like a very joyful sort of occasion. So I'm assuming, but wow, this is quite.
So you're into it. You're into it.
Obviously, Manny doesn't feel threatened at all.
Neither
does Day. So
no.
I'm like, let's do this.
I think Dave's into this. I could see Dave being into this. I could see Thoe being into this. Gil is just sort of like, whatever, man. Mandrake, the reception here is completely different to what he experienced in the city, where everybody was a little afraid to touch him. Like people are running up to him. You see this this one woman come up and it's like, "Are you eating? You're not eating. It looks like you haven't eaten anything." And they start she just starts taking food, and because he's so much taller, she just starts shoving it into his pockets. Like any of the pockets that she can reach. Like one of them reaches over and shoves a piece of jerky in his boot.
I wouldn't eat that.
It is Aguilita.
I knew it.
Aguilita starts coming forward and
Nico, you're not eating.
Nico, what's wrong? I give you food all the time. But Aguilita starts shoving food in your pockets and stuff like that, and you recognize Aguilita as one of the women that when you were sick, she sort of helped bring you back and things like that. Bizzleby sort of bring out the chair, and they one of them runs off and they bring out this chair and it's human sized and it says Mandrake Madigan,
And I jump up on the chair and sit on the back of the chair with my feet in the seat.
When he does that, everybody just starts clapping, and you see several kids try to do it and fall off the chair and hit the ground and things of that sort. And it's sort of a party. How does Nyx react to all of this as well? Standoffish? Just sort of absorbing?
Bittersweet.
pretty soon drinks start flowing. They start bringing out sort of flagons and start filling them up. And oh, so tell us of your adventures, Mandrake. Huh? Where have you been? What have you been up to?
A little bit of everywhere, busily.
I heard you had a run-in at the keep.
We did.
How did it go?
Not well.
It went shitty.
It did go shitty.
It was very shitty. You ran into Red Jack.
We did.
I see everything. Not everything. But I see everything. And how did you handle it? Maturely?
I could have handled it better.
He takes his cane and smacks you in the side and says, "No, you didn't. You tried to cast Fog Cloud by the Red Keep. This one was smart enough to run away."
Why were you in the Red Keep?
Well, we weren't in the Red Keep. We were just outside of the Red Keep.
Why?
We needed to go shopping.
To be fair, we both tried to run away. He cast fog clouds so that we could both run away. It just didn't quite work.
Fog Cloud is the most wonderful spell, isn't it? It really is the most powerful of all the magic spells.
It's such diversity.
It's really quite good.
It's really quite good. But this idiot couldn't cast it.
Well, he tried.
No, trying.
The other guy stopped him.
Do or do not. There is no trying.
Well,
This
I mean,
is what I
technically
grew
he
up
did
with.
cast it. He just stopped it.
He sees all.
The Red Jack is much more powerful than I.
Yes. And when someone's bigger than you, and stronger than you, and faster than you.
You stand up long enough for your friends to get away.
Not if it's the Red Jack.
No. If someone's bigger than you, and stronger than you, and faster than you, what can you be?
Smarter than them.
Smarter than them. Gil, could you play a little music for me? Thistleby gets up and sort of like looks out at everyone, and everyone sort of sits down. You see like fires sort of like being lit, and people are like eating food and drinking. You were dumb. You were stupid. You could have been killed by Red Jack, but you didn't, and that's great, because you're home, and we missed you, my boy, but we prepared a present that will bring you great joy, because you have to be wiser, you have to be smarter when dealing with the Queen and the vicious Red Keep. You must keep to your senses, keep your eyes on the prize, quit looking up at your hat and the skies, and he hits you again. Listen to me, my Mandrake, my friend. I have a way for you to come to good ends. We've missed several birthdays since you've been gone, correct?
That is true.
He walks forward and holds out his hands, and as he does, Abuelita comes forward and hands him a present wrapped in that. As that happens, you see like one of the gnomes sort of come up and like stand on another one's shoulders and like wipe off your brow. Like just a little bit, and they have like a Gatorade bottle, fancy Gatorade bottle.
So if you were there at the Red Keep fighting, does that mean you hate them as much as I do?
Yes.
Damn good. Damn good.
As he says "damn good," the present is handed to you.
Okay.
There's a box, a plain-looking red box with wrapped in very fine paper. It's about yay big, and she hands it to you, and she like has you lean forward, and she gives you a kiss. Give me a perception check.
12.
She just shoved more food in your pockets when you bent forward to kiss her. But you have this box.
Before I open it, I'm going to say thank you.
Okay. This is because you don't thank family for presents.
But if I
You
don't
just
think
accept them.
family, I get hit.
Well, that's fair. I'm probably going to hit you anyway,
And that is also
because
fair.
you're stupid.
Okay. So I'm gonna unwrap it.
As you unwrap the paper, the six of you are sort of gathered around him. And as the box opens up, inside is a slip of white paper with gold leaf. It's written in calligraphy, and you recognize you recognize the symbol of this. I'm not even going to make you roll for it because you've seen this symbol enough. It's a red rose on the upper right-hand corner of the paper, and you recognize Princess's signature at the bottom of this. On the paper it says, Mandrake Madigan is an official representative of the gnomes of Tanakh and is hereby granted all diplomatic equivalencies found therein. And it's signed by Princess. And at the very bottom, in the tiniest of scripts, it says, "Fuck you, Dad."
That little brat. God, I love her.
Do you know what this is?
I'm the king of cabbages.
You're the king of cabbages. King of cabbages. Or cabbages and kings, whichever. Cabbages and kings flows better. But do you know what this means? It means there's going to have to be paperwork in order for Red Jack to hit you. And paperwork is bothersome. I hate it. And it's stupid like you. But luckily you have me who's smart. And I love you.
I brought you something.
You did?
I'm going to take out one of the Eat Me cakes and give it to him.
Did you tell him what it is first?
Yes.
I was very careful with his edibles.
Truth.
This is something we found that I think you might find interesting.
Oh!
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. It shrinks you down to a very small size.
Poop.
I'm already pretty small.
But I thought your master alchemists could perhaps learn to make more?
That was very smart of you. Uncharacteristic.
And he goes over and has you come forward and bend down. He gives you a hug. Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
17.
I would like to sneak some more food into your mouth. As you bend down she sneaks up behind you.
I'm gonna whisper to Abuelita, thank you for the cabbage candies.
It is a night of feasting and things of that sort. You have lots of food, lots of drink. Those girls do not leave you until like Thoe is just sort of a walking sort of like her hair is all braided with all sorts of different like beads. And
She's been to Burning Man.
Oh my god!
like she looks so happy, and these little girls like do you want to come over to our house and have a sleepover? And like they like take you over to the house, and the house is way too big for you to fit in this house, even a small little one. But they're like, do you want to camp outside of our house for a sleepover?
Yeah, let's camp outside.
Like, pretty soon, every girl in the village is just like coming over, and they're like all sitting outside. Do you guys want to do anything with your evening as you sort of check in and meet with people?
I have two things I would like to do.
Please.
First is I want to go to Bizzleby.
Okay.
I'm not aware of...
Ah, you scared me.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding, I saw you coming.
I had hoped so. I'm not aware of your community here, and I do apologize for that. But the Red Keep, I'm quite familiar with.
Yes,
What are your ties to the Red Keep?
we hate them. But needs must when the devil drives. They rule all. For now.
And your goal
My goal?
with Mandrake? What is his purpose?
That is up to Mandrake. I can tell you what I want.
Please do.
A dog runs through the village, and Bizzleby is like, shut up! A rather tall gnome runs through as well.
I wish for happiness. I wait each day to have a cup of booze and sleep it away. I have no dreams of rebellion or doing what is right. My dream is not to leave this place and go fight the good fight. I have a family, they're little, but they're fierce. I hope to eat with them for many, many years. You see, there are people in this world that are born to be heroes and be rebellions and do magic. Do you know what we call those people?
Foolish.
Idiots, yes, that's right. But the world needs idiots to make change, to do what you have to do. And who knows? Maybe in a few more years I will be willing to be an idiot as well.
I don't think that's your purpose. Your family really loves you.
It's true. So does yours.
Well, my dear, they'd have to be around in order to do such a thing, wouldn't they?
Who said they're not around?
Who said they were? Fair enough.
I have a present for you.
Present.
You ask one question. One question only, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. But I don't want you to ask it right now. I want you to really think about this. Questions are powerful. Answers even more so. What do you want? What do you want to know?
And she'll just get up to go think about it, or to move on from there.
Bring me back some food.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
I want to go to the home of the alchemist who took me in the Gnomish village.
You walk over to the home. Do you knock on the door or anything, or you just come in?
I knock.
Yeah. There's no answer.
Okay. Knowing my master, I check the door for traps.
Give me a damn it. Give me a damn it roll. Give me a check for traps.
What is that? Investigation?
Yeah.
It is a 17.
You go to open the handle and you're like, wait, this jerk. And you can very definitely see the string that's like a very thin film that's sort of tied to the string, and you cheeky, clever guy, and you cut the string a little bit and the string drops.
Okay. I check again for traps.
There's no
Nothing
traps.
else?
Yeah.
Okay, so I open the door.
You open the door and step inside. Give me a perception check.
That is a 7.
You look around the room and your emotions get the better of you because it's destroyed. The furniture is overturned. Everything is broken. It looks like it's been ransacked. As you're having this realization and you're sort of staring off into the room ahead of you, you feel a presence behind you. And it's Bizzleby. We didn't know how to tell you. They came after you left. He was very strong. They took him for the good of the village. We're not fighters. And he loved you. You know he loved you. He loved you dearly, and he wasn't. He would have. I'm so sorry.
This was Red Jack.
I don't know.
Name a name. They're dead.
I give you an inside check.
That was on the back.
No. Sorry, bro.
It was the same, so it doesn't matter. Insight. 5. No name.
Sir, he keeps looking down. How do you tell someone? How do you tell someone? We knew you'd come running back, and you didn't belong here. You didn't belong here, and you would have come back, and you would have stayed.
You did what had to be done.
He leaves you in the chambers. If you wish to explore the chambers a little bit more, you can do an investigation check and sort of look around.
Ooh.
22.
You start looking around and you start cleaning the place. And if anybody's walking by and taking time, you see Bizzleby sort of walk, and as he walks by all of you, he sort of coughs rather loudly and sort of points his head back towards the place, and you guys see a very teary, I would almost say crying at this point, Mandrake, as he is in this sort of gnomish cat, like stooped over, taking trash and throwing it out, fixing beds, fixing furnitures, like, and just doing this amidst sort of emotional turmoil.
At this point, I probably would just, if I had seen him, I'd just want to, go through the house and just put my hand on his shoulder and just hadn't say anything and just kind of let my presence be there with him.
Yeah.
She starts helping him clean.
You watch as the people in your party, some of them start coming over. You watch as Grim does something completely uncharacteristic. Ever since before he put his forehead to yours, he just puts a hand on your shoulder as to make his presence known. Day walks over and without saying a word starts helping you clean the space. You clean. You spend the better part of your evening. If you stay there the whole time, it takes the better part of the evening. But before you go, this place is in pristine order. You usher the two of them out, and as you do, you are about to close the door, but with that investigation check, I gotta reward it. You think back to the first spell he ever taught you. It's because you were afraid of the dark. He did it so that when the lights were off and the door was closed, parts of the ceiling would glow those little stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you smile and you close the door as the sun begins to set. And the stars are there. And as you look up at the stars, you're sort of twisting your head in a different configuration. And you rush outside. You grab the chair. You set the chair up where it goes in the house. And as you set the chair up in the house, you flip on your head and do the thing where the trick that you've done 1,000 times before that was your calling card. And as you flip on the chair, your eyes look and it says, "Still alive." You sit in the chair. And the words ring out. "Still alive." And you just sit in the chair. The night goes on. People enjoy their time spent. There is a celebration. At a certain point, Bizzleby gets up and says, it's evening time. A trader is coming through. And he sort of brings us goods every now and then, and we give him a bit of cabbage. Would anyone here like to take care of this transaction for me so we can stay with the
Sell the
families?
cabbage?
Yes, just sell the cabbages and
You just need us to give the cabbages to them and collect money?
He sometimes has exotic wares and odd tomes and things of that sort. If you have the gold to pay.
Books?
Books, yes, books.
Yes,
He
I would like to
trades.
do that.
he trades in all sorts of things. All right.
Just so we're aware, what does a head of cabbage go for these days?
Oh, this is the finest cabbage in all of Wonder.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question, but
A few copper pieces. Sometimes you can bilk a few silver.
you silver. Okay,
Yeah.
good clarification, because I was going to say gold and I just don't know these things. So thank you.
No, God, no.
Gosh.
I mean, if you can get it gold,
I
I'll
don't know
kiss
these
you and
things.
marry you.
How about wait your turn? Wait your turn.
He smooths his eyebrows when we're all pushing and stuff like that.
By all means.
Just Zoe?
I'll take
Okay.
a look. I'll be around.
Yeah.
I'll go with.
I'll go with, but I'm not going to be very good at helping.
You walk forward. As you walk forward, you see a cart being pulled down the road. It's a traveler who's got a hood on, and as he sort of pulls this cart forward, he takes the hood off, and he has a bright red skin, and it's smoldering a little bit, and you see this sort of elemental form to him. And it's something that you haven't encountered for a very long time. It's a reddish-brown skin, and he's got these beautiful eyes that are glowing orange with black irises in them. As he flips the hood down, he goes, all right, you're a little different from the normal group that normally I trade with. But yes, cabbages. Cabbages. Cabbages.
Yes. You wanted to buy cabbages?
We have cabbages.
Yes, you have cabbages, and I have coin. I have coin.
Are you all right?
Yes, God, yes, great. I'm wonderful. Can I? Yes. And he reaches into his pouch and he absentmindedly takes 4 gold and he goes, I'll take everything that you have.
Okay, I heard you have some books.
Yes.
What
Yes.
kinds of books do you have?
What are you looking for?
Well, what kinds of books do you have?
I have history books. I've got a few romance novels, adventure books, field guides to some of the local.
Field guides would be good. As well as any
What are you doing?
recent.
I'm just frozen. I'm speechless frozen.
Could she have recognized that? Because that was a really long
It's
pause.
real obvious.
It's
Okay,
real
well,
obvious.
real obvious on my
Message. You
side.
know this guy?
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, I've got field guides. I can sell it to you for a gold. It's a first edition. It's very good. It's got
A
all
field
sorts
guide to what? There are lots of types of field guides out there. It could be a field guide to like.
the
rocks
plants,
for all I know.
herbalism, and things of that sort, collecting things for potions.
Okay.
I bought it. It is a first edition, but there are notes in there for how to make several potions using some of the local herbs and.
We'll take it.
Yes. Yes.
We'll take it.
He hands the book over to you, and you hand him a gold piece, and he says, "Thank you."
No, thank you. Is everything okay?
I cast message. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Do you mind if I speak in private with you?
I
I
would
say that out loud.
I would, yes, of course, sir. Yes. Pardon me, we have. I am not good at this. Yes, let's have a conversation. And he, the man, sort of walks over and grabs your hand, and he takes, and sort of walks off a little way. Then he like lets go of your hand, and then comes back to the cart and says, "Would you all mind watching this? You trustworthy?"
Yeah. I'll pay for it if they steal anything.
Wow. Thanks for the vote of
Well,
confidence.
thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, you go walk over a little ways with him, and as you do, there's a you move a little ways off. I thought you were dead.
I didn't think you were dead, but I didn't know where you went.
Let's
go then, Father.
He looks around. He looks around and he was like, "Did you hear that?"
Yes, but
Yeah, I swear there's something here. I just can't for the life of me. I went looking.
I'm gonna look around.
I
Try and
went,
find him because I'm upset a little bit. Okay, wherever that's coming from, we're going the other direction, and I just start leading him now in whatever direction's not that.
I. Keep going, okay.
Yeah.
I set off to look for him, my father, and someone else. I went back after years spent searching, and you weren't there.
Yeah, that's what happens when there's a coup. You kind of don't stick around.
Yeah, I figured that out fairly quickly, but no one knew. They said you were gone. They said you were dead or so I've been walking in hopes to find other things, not just you.
Did you find your father? Or whatever?
No, it seemed kind of pointless. How are you here?
I escaped the secret passages you showed me.
Oh my god! You I checked and
I escaped during the coup.
and he runs over and sweeps you up in a big hug. Now that he knows it's you, the warmth radiates off of him. Like he's wrapped you up. Like it's one of those like big. He's got you, you've got him, and he's like, he claps you on the back, and he's like, you wouldn't believe some of the things that I've been doing. Like, I've been like having to fight bandits and like running around, and I've been wanting to tell you, and I just didn't.
When you left, I don't know, with the coup and everything, I didn't think of what, I don't know, I was so focused on just trying to stay alive.
No, it's okay. How about this? Dinner.
Yes,
Not.
yes.
Just, I mean, we can eat. We can all eat, and then. But let's. Tell me everything. Where was that guitar music coming from? They finally look up in a tree, and Gil's just like upside down in a tree.
Everyone has a reason to be here.
Oh, that's creepy.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
He's followed us around like the last day and a half. I barely know him, but he is very good at hiding, apparently.
Dinner.
Yes.
You.
Yes.
Tell me everything.
Of course.
I could go first.
Yes. You're more than welcome to. You come and see Nix, who's talking animatedly with like the individual, the salesman who was there with a cart, and he's very expressive. Like he talks with his hands and he talks with his whole body, and he's telling these stories about fighting these weird creatures that sort of live in the shadows. And Nix is just like not having to talk, and it's gorgeous because nobody's asking him questions. He's just listening to this person sort of tell stories and like act things out, and then occasionally he'll use Nix as a bad guy, where he channels arcane energy and throws it, and Nix instinctively goes like falls to the ground, and it's this repeated sort of back and forth like banter between the two of them, where it's just this connection, and you look at him and Nix is smiling, like it's genuine, it's good.
Not a face shape he's making.
It's called a smile. I know you don't do it that much.
Oh, I smile plenty.
Yeah, but it's sarcastic. It's different. I know.
Anyway, so that's why communication is so important.
Flint, It is really nice to meet everybody. And he like reaches out for your hand
Hi,
and
it's nice to meet you too.
like grabs your hand and like
A couple jewels fall out. I'm so sorry.
Oh God.
You was an open
Every
invitation.
single thought, I swear to right now.
Ooh, that sounds like balance.
Open invitation.
Flint goes, that's okay, first one's free. And he holds his hand out like this, and you see a chaos bolt start like forming in his hand a little bit.
Oh, I know all about those. Trust me, you should put those back right now.
I'm just gonna reach into my coin purse and pull out 10 gold and like, is it? And I'm just gonna have them like all spaced between my fingers in like different ways. Like, ooh, hello.
Yeah. Alright, he's funny. He's really funny.
Well, 10 gold
That's
do
one way
it.
to put it.
Oh no, not at all. It'll do for the congrats. Like, and he takes the gold and he takes the jewels and like puts them in, and then he waits and he like fires it right above your head and it hits a tree, and the tree just kind of like the tree all of a sudden. The tree starts melting. Like as like green arcane energy and the acid starts like melting through the tree and stuff like that, and he's like, pick that up too.
Should have done that to the one he was in.
Oh God! And like he looks at him and say that, and Gil's like, I think Gil's healing the tree. He's healing into the tree. The night goes on, and it is some people had a harder night than others. I wonder after a time if Mandrake comes out of the hut and sort of joins the festivities. The children don't leave your side. Gil stays awake.
Yeah. What are the stars like the moon and the alignment and stuff?
Give me a wisdom check, buddy.
14.
Hey man,
Hey,
great job.
thanks.
I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I think we gotta go though.
Oh, yeah. I think it's time for that meeting.
You wanna go?
Yeah, we should probably go to that meeting.
Let's go to the meeting.
Yeah. Be fun. We got friends there.
While the party is going on, I will give everybody a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh.
14?
14.
16.
I had a nat 20, but now I have a 6.
14.
Great. Everybody's at the party and enjoying themselves, and your good buddy Gil sort of wanders off. As he wanders off, he's sort of doing that thing where he's muttering to himself. And there's a real quick movement as Gil sort of looks back and looks at everybody and looks at the stars, and you think you might have drank too much because one of the stars looks like it comes down. Like it's just a weird forced perspective as the star comes down and it forms a door. And he's just a little ways off, and he walks towards the door and he opens the door, guitar in hand. And it gets weird. It gets weirder. As this like little mouse sort of like it comes out from the door from the other direction, sort of crawls up and into the guitar and pokes his head out. And as he walks through the dormouse sort of looks over at you. The door closes, and as it does, the door is gone.
Well, I either had way too much to drink, or whatever Bizzleby gave you was not. Never mind.
The night continues. But the time you wake up the next morning, Gil is gone. But some of the things that he helped you with sort of push you towards the right direction. Though as you're sleeping, even though Gil is gone, you do that thing where you're laying outside with the girls and you start looking up at the stars. Gil, can you give me some music? it's been a really sort of cathartic evening. And you don't know where the music's coming from. You don't know how it's affecting you. But you start harkening back to the people that you met. If you sing a song for me, I'm going to give you a clue as to where he is.
Okay. I wanna feel glee, but I miss my family. Don't know where they are. I really think they're far, but I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna go. I just don't know where to start. But I gotta start. Follow my heart. And I'll go.
God, that's heartbreaking. Follow your heart. As these words are the echo from all of you, finding your pack, finding your family, finding your people, finding him, you discovering a part of who you are, returning to find you discovering that people are still alive, and you following your heart, you decided to embrace a little bit of what Grimm and all the others have sort of given you. And most importantly, what Gil has left you. And you stop trying. You've been holding a tension. And as though he lets go of the tension, a butterfly flies over, lands next to her ear, and says, "There you are." And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, follow your hearts. That was too good not to end on. I had a little bit more to go, but you have to end when it's time to end. God, and I'm crying. Yeah. Thank you so much for this amazing musical episode. Tim, do you mind playing one more time for me? And I'll close this out that way. Yeah. I feel like I need to close out. So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find more family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our heart. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to wander in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question, I hope to not blunder. Question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you guys. Indigo Connect.